What's up, guys? It's me, Alan. I am back with another video. It is time for my 2023 SummerSlam predictions. As you can tell, I don't sound 100%. I do not feel 100%. I have been sore all day. I was cold at work this morning. I've been warm pretty much ever since I got back from coming home on my lunch break. Um, to varying degrees. So, yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now, and I blame Mother Nature for that because of the temperature swings at night here in New Hampshire. But anyway, it's time to take a look at the SummerSlam card. Yeah, I will address the Becky Trish thing, but before I do, first of all, humongous shout out to everybody who subscribed to the channel because tonight, or rather earlier today, I reached 900 subscribers. That is a mark. If you told me I would get to when I was younger, when I posted that first video, um, the one of me in a Max E truck jumping other trucks on Roblox, if you told me I'd get this far, I would have laughed in your face. A lot of people have helped me along the way. I mean, the Grossi raid during the Jaguars Titans stream earlier this year, that was a huge boost. All the wrestling content that I posted, by the way, I will be going to more indie shows this month, so more content on the way. Starting next weekend, actually. Um, all the stuff that came from that. Just all in all, thank you so goddamn much. It means a lot. And now it's time for the road to 1K. At minimum 950 subscribers by the end of the year. Um, that's what I'm hoping for. So that being said, with that now out of the way, let's go ahead um and take a look at this card. Now, Becky and Trish. Okay. So this match, in a feud that's been built up for months, got pulled from the show, and they're doing it in Canada in a couple weeks on Raw, and it's got a lot of people pissed off. Now, there's also drama within the AEW women's division, but we're not going to talk about that here. But it's once again bringing up the conversation of what the hell is going on with women's wrestling among the top two promotions, and why does it feel like everything's going backward with them? Um, yeah, and the fact that supposedly the reason why it was moved, it was because WWE has sort of set a cap on time and time for matches, relatively speaking, when it comes to these premium live events. They already have 8 matches on the card, though one of them is a Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royal, um, which I get that Slim Jim signed a deal with WWE, but why? I don't really see the need for it. But people also want to bring up Rhea versus Raquel not happening and Rhea not defending her title again. I mean, you can't blame Rhea for that. That's more so the fact of that she's still with Dom and she's still with Judgment Day. And I think she's sort of the de facto leader of the group and not Finn in a way. But it also feels like the group is sort of like it's like a two-part group. Like Damien and Finn are beefing and Rhea and then Dom answers to Rhea. So I don't know. Raquel is kayfabe hurt. So um Pierce did say that Raquel would get the match when she was cleared. When that will be, who knows? Is it disappointing? Yes. But WWE, they put themselves in a box, and this is what happened. It sucks, but I still think the card that we have will still be a banger all across the board. And then when Becky and Trish do fight, that will be a banger as well. But with that being said, I guess with the Battle Royal, I'll just get that out of the way. It's either LA Knight wins or there's no fucking point in doing this whole goddamn thing. Like, please, please, fucking please. LA Knight has to win or you've completely fucked this whole thing up. All right, now, moving on. Ricochet versus Logan Paul, which WWE has set to be the opener. Um, so that Logan, once the match is done, he can get out of Detroit and get down to Texas to go see his brother Jake fight and hopefully get beat by Nate Diaz. Um, Logan's been talking a lot of shit, and Ricochet has done his flippy shit to sort of get back at him. Um, I think this will come down to like, can Logan Paul like kind of trash talk his way to the victory, or will Ricochet beat him? Uh, I can see an argument for Logan winning because, if you want to keep it like, yes, he put on a hell of a show with Seth and lost. He put on a hell of a show with Roman and lost. He beat Miz. Um, he beat, and then of course there was a tag match when he made his WWE debut, in an actual match. But um, I do think Logan Paul will win. But this should be an incredible showcase for Ricochet, and I'm glad that Logan and Ricochet is happening because it's sort of getting people reinvested in Ricochet, which is always good to see. Um, then you have Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler in an MMA rules match. And honestly, there's only one way this should go. Ronda puts Shayna over and gets the fuck out. So I have Shayna winning. And I think what will happen is hopefully this will build her back to be going towards being the uh the NXT version of Shayna Baszler that was a ruthless monster, and champion. So give me Shayna Baszler for that one. And then we have the women's triple threat: Asuka, Charlotte, Bianca. Asuka's the champion, and it kind of feels like in a way that she's sort of been the third wheel because Bianca and Charlotte had beef from the fact of the Bianca did everything right to get a title opportunity against Asuka, and then Charlotte walked the fuck in and took it and took one. And I think here's the interesting thing. Tonight on SmackDown, the Street Profits showed up during an OC versus Braun Brutes match and attacked both. Crowd lost their shit, and then Lashley came out. Street Profits were also in suits. So, Street Profits are turned heel. And I know people joke about the whole, oh, it's Hurt Business 2.0, but it actually feels like they're doing Hurt Business 2.0. And um, I think Lashley, Dawkins, and Montez Ford is an incredible trio. And I think what could happen, by the way, I think Oscar retains. Um, Now, does EO cash in? Is the question, but we'll get to that in a moment. I think Oscar retains. Charlotte costs Bianca, as in a way of telling Bianca to pay her respect to the Queen, and Bianca loses her shit, attacks Charlotte, and crucially attacks Asuka before leaving the ring. And then EO, and it's interesting because the fact that Bianca had long been feuding with Damage Control, but now Bianca as a heel doesn't give a fuck. EO comes out, cashes in, and I think the key to this will be because Shotzi came back on SmackDown tonight. Of course, she did shave her head. She's dyed what's left of her hair black, mostly black outfit. She looks incredible, and she's gone completely fucking berserk. Pulled out a pair of clippers, or shaver, and Chase Bayley allegedly caught her. Um, I would think, I would think there's a chance that Bayley is involved in EO's cash in, but then Bayley gets attacked by Shotzi, and EO, EO sees that, and Asuka beats her. It's either one of three things. One, EO cashes in and wins. Two, Bayley costs EO, and then they finally break up and feud. Um, or EO gets distracted because Shotzi is attacking Bayley, like what happened on SmackDown tonight. Because Zelina they had Zelina Vega bring out Shotzi's tank as a decoy so that Bayley could send EO after the tank to then have Shotzi pop up behind Bayley. Um, I think it's one of three options. Either EO cashes in and wins, or she gets screwed out of her cash in and becomes the first woman to have a failed cash in. No woman has ever failed a cash in so far. EO could be the first because of Bayley, and I think that we will have another, you know, turn like it would be a big moment if Io turns face on Bayley. If that were to happen, ideally, I want Io to defeat Asuka if she cashes in, but we'll see. I think there's a possibility that we finally get Bayley and Io separating and feuding, and we could also get Bianca turning heel at the same time. Um, which if they manage to pull all of that off, that would be insane. Um, next you have Gunther defending the Intercontinental title against Drew McIntyre. McIntyre returned Money in the Bank after Gunther had beaten Riddle, and I don't see McIntyre winning at SummerSlam. Legitimately, because to have Gunther lose, and don't get me wrong, if he loses to Drew, it's an honorable loss, but not when you're so close to beating Honky Tonk Man's record. So I think for the sake of this match, they need to have Gunther retain so he can break the record, and then drop it to Drew, and then have Gunther move up the card, and potentially challenge Roman post SummerSlam, um, and whatnot. Then we have Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar, Part 3. Allegedly, the saga will end. Um, the thing that sucks here is that allegedly there's no stipulation. Now, is it possible? Because Cody's been saying that he wants to embarrass Brock. Is it possible that at the show, Cody comes out first, cuts a promo, and unveils a stipulation for the match, and then that stipulation gets added to said match, and then he beats Brock? I just hope something is added because something needs to be added. Because we still don't even exactly know why Brock attacked Cody. I think everybody's theorizing that Heyman paid off Brock to go after Cody. Um, and then paid him more paid him more so that Brock would beat him the second time because Heyman wants Cody to get away from Roman. That's my theory. I don't know, but that's my theory. Now, then we have Seth Freakin Rollins versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Title. Um, this is huge because, of course, 7 years ago, as we know, when the Universal Title was brought to life, Finn faced Seth, beat Seth, but got hurt during the match and had to vacate the title. And Finn has never really been able to get back to that. He's never been able to get back that high up. And I honestly think SummerSlam could possibly be his last chance. I know rumor has it or reports have it that any Judgment Day plans for JD McDonough have been halted and put on hold. That's fine. Um, I think that could still be where things go, but if Finn loses tomorrow night, Damien's Damien has got to cash in. Um, I know GSO Sage said in his prediction video that Damien shouldn't cash in. He should come out and help Finn to win. I just don't necessarily see it. And I think that Damien is envious of the fact that Finn keeps getting these opportunities, but he keeps losing. And Damien wants to finally show Finn how it's done. So then Damien cashes in on Seth, wins the title, and then Damien and Finn feud. Um, because now Finn is pissed off that Damien went against supposed orders to not do that. Um, so I think that could happen. So give me Seth retaining in what should probably be a brutal match, and then Damien decides he's had enough, and he cashes in on Seth and wins the title off of him, with Finn lying in a heap, wondering what the fuck went wrong and pissed off at Damien. And then we get the main event of the night: Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso, Tribal Combat for the undisputed WWE Universal title and recognition as the Tribal Chief. Now, Jey beat Solo tonight on SmackDown. And if you know how that goes, usually the person that wins the night before in WWE often does not win at the pay-per-view or premium live event. However, With Seth or with Jay, once again, they've made him believable enough that he could possibly do it. It's gonna be an insane match. Um, and I think you have to factor in Jimmy, who, by the way, I got his elite top pick figure today, a Walmart after work. The one with the SmackDown title. That came out fairly recently. Um, Jimmy's out, quote unquote, for the foreseeable future. It's probably a work, and I think it's possible that maybe Jay, or sorry, not Jay, that Jimmy. I know this sounds backwards, but could Jimmy possibly turn on Jay? Because think about it for a second. Jimmy was the one who super kicked Roman twice in the first place. He did what Jay couldn't do. And Jimmy had to do the work to get Jay to do the same. But now Jay's the one that's getting the opportunity to try to dethrone Roman. And Jimmy, when Jay did the promo, when he told Jimmy, "You're out and I'm out too." Before that, the thing that Jay had mentioned was um, people looked at Jimmy as the better of the two brothers, allegedly. Jay was kind of looked at as little brother. Not necessarily in the sense of the way Solo Sikoa is, but just between him and Jimmy. And then, as we know, Jimmy had DUI issues, and then Jay was the one that was put in position, to feud with Roman early on, and then Jimmy came back, and that's what started everything. So, um, I think that it's possible that Jimmy could return and cost Jay because Jimmy is jealous because he did the work to get to this point, but Jay's the one getting the opportunity. Do I agree with that move? No, not entirely, because it feels like it would be taking the story and going backwards. But at the same time, it would take both of the Usos out of the picture with Roman, and Roman can continue onward. And now we have to wait and see what happens with Solo and Heyman. And then sort of like with Sammy and KO, when Sammy had joined the bloodline, turned his back on KO, and then at the eventual reunion, Jimmy and Jay will fight. And I think it should be a three-match feud on the next three premium live events. And it builds to probably a Hell in a Cell or something, to the point where they kind of realize they shouldn't be fighting each other. And Roman did his work again. He made Jimmy and Jay fight each other when they should be unified against Roman. Um, and we'll see. I hate saying it. I think Roman will win. I do not believe Jay loses clean though. There's no way in hell he loses clean. And with that being said, again, let me run through the winners that I have. Battle Royal, LA Knight, yeah. Rousey versus Baszler, give me Baszler. Ricochet versus Paul, give me Logan Paul. Gunther versus Drew, give me Gunther. Asuka versus Charlotte versus Bianca, give me Asuka. With Bianca turning heel, attacking both women. Io comes out to cash in. Bayley costs her, and then Damage Control, or the 2/3 of Damage Control that are left, because Dakota's still not hurt. Um, they break up and feud. Give me Seth over Finn, with Damien cashing in and winning to prove to Finn he can get it done and Finn couldn't. Give me Cody beating Brock, and then give me Roman retaining over Jay. But I think it's only a matter of time. Maybe Jay did get through to Solo tonight. I think it's only a matter of time before Solo turns on Roman Heyman. It won't be anytime soon. It'll probably be a few months, in a few months, maybe closer to the Royal Rumble next year. But yeah. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you again for getting me to 900 subscribers. I truly appreciate it. Make sure to check out last night's finale to the Road to Revenge series, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.